Hi, my name is Chris Becker, and I'm the CEO of a company called File Mobile. File Mobile is a software company, and what we do is provide a platform and applications and tools for our clients, largely broadcasters, publishers, agencies, brands of a variety of types, to engage in broadband video, user-generated content, and social networking across a variety of platforms, including the web and mobile. What I wanted to talk about a bit today was some of the things we're seeing and doing with video online and video on the mobile device. It's definitely a space that's been changing a lot, particularly over the last few years. Even with you can get a sense of that even with the words that we use, whether it's TiVo, iTunes, Netflix, Hulu, YouTube. These are words that we didn't even use 5 years ago, and now on the street you hear people talking about it all the time. And I think it's indicative of what we're seeing with respect to the expectations around video in general and what people expect to see and how they expect to see it. It marks to a certain extent a fairly significant change in the dynamics of the industry. What we used to see was TV guides and broadcast schedules setting basically the calendar of when we would watch certain types of shows, movie releases, what have you. On the supply side, really pushing that content to us. Now what we're seeing is much more of a demand side pull. We can now look at content on devices of our choosing. When we choose to watch the content is now a choice we make, and more where and when. So that's really driven kind of a shift in terms of where the power lies in the industry, particularly towards the consumer. This has really kind of changed the bar for expectations with respect to video in general. The demand, what we expect in terms of how we consume content, where, all the way through to the demand in general. This has allowed people who hadn't consumed content or video or not nearly as much to enter the market and increase significantly the overall demand for video. As well, the supply has grown. YouTube generates more video in 6 months than the entire history of the 3 major networks since the beginning of broadcast television. So it gives you some idea of the scale of the amount of content that's out there, which presents to a certain extent a challenge of how to find what you're looking for. But that is also an area where you're seeing a lot more innovation, so that you don't have to sift through a lot of this content to get at exactly what you want. The overall volume of video or the overall volume of traffic on the internet is becoming owned by video. By 2013, 33% of all video, all content on the internet will be video. So it's showing kind of the overall growth. So one of the things that we're excited about at File Mobile is when you look at the growth, the catch-up in the technology and what's possible, the supply of content, where does this really take us going into the future? And we think we're just scratching the surface. If you look at how video is being used now, a lot of it has to do with entertainment, which is great in terms of long-form content, movies, marketing, commercials, what have you. We think the real potential is taking video beyond that kind of traditional space. If you look at the old analogy, a picture being worth 1,000 words, a video is really worth 1,000,000 words. And how can that be used to kind of make huge advancements in areas of knowledge management in the enterprise, communication beyond marketing communication, areas such as disaster response, policy development, really kind of using video in a way to put people in touch with each other who don't happen to be in the same physical location or even having a conversation about a topic at the same time, and making that content available, searchable, indexable, mashable, so that they can be put together and really brought to much more relevant and applicable use in pretty well all aspects of our economy. So whether it's education, the enterprise, improving business processes, providing better information for consumers, we think there's huge potential, and we're excited to be a part of it. If people are interested in more information, I'd encourage you to visit our website or our blog at www.fomobile.com/blog. And thanks for listening. Take care.